Hi, this is Mohan Golap. So let us continue the discussion of memory management chapter, and today we'll see a topic memory protection and implementation of page table. So first we'll see the memory protection. So in order to protect the memory protection implemented by associating a protection bit with each frame. So this one bit can define a page to be read write or the read only. So here the bit may be a valid bit or the invalid bit. So it is attached to each entry in the page table. So the valid indicates that the associated page is in the logical address space and thus a legal page, means the process can able to access that particular page if the bit is valid and it is in the that process is logical address space. But if the bit is invalid, that indicates that the page is not in the logical address space of that process, and hence it's not legal page, and the process cannot use that particular page. So let us see how this is implemented. So you can see here it's an example. So here we have a page table. This is physical memory, and here you can see in the page table, so we have the frame numbers. Along with these frame numbers, every page table entry is having an associated protection bit. So this may be, as we saw, it may be valid or invalid bit. Here V indicates the valid and I indicates invalid. So here you can see only the valid pages are there in the physical memory and the invalid are not there. Here as you can see, the page number 0 to page 5 are valid. So that's why you can see only page 0 to page 5 are there in the physical memory and the other are not present here, because these are not present in the logical memory space of that particular process. So next we'll see the shared pages. So one of the advantages of paging is the possibility of sharing the common code. So there will be a common code. This is also called as reentrant code, which can be shared among the different processes. It is the text editors, compilers, Windows systems, so on. So they can access a particular code at the same time. So the shared code must appear in same location in the logical address space of all the processes. So here the reentrant code is a non-self modifying code and it never changes during its execution. Thus, two or more processes can execute the same code at the same time. So because of this, it is possible that a particular the shared code can be shared among all the different processes at the same time. So along with this shared code, we have something called private code and private data also. So each process keeps a separate copy of the code and data, means this is not shared among the other processes. That's why it is called as private code and private data. So the pages for the private code and data can appear anywhere in the logical address space. So here let us consider the example of this shared pages. So you can see here we have the process P1, process P2 and process P3. Every process is having its own private data, that is data 1, data 2 and data 3. Along with that, along with this, it is having the editors. So you can see here three editors are there for every process, that is here ed1, ed1, ed2, ed3, ed1, ed2, ed3, ed1, ed2, ed3. So although only one copy of these will be present on the physical memory and one copy of this private data will be present on the physical memory, but here the editors, the every process keeps their own copy of this particular ed, that is editors, and whenever they want to update, they will be updating the process data through these particular editors. So in this way, this only one copy of these editors will be present in the physical memory, but every process keeps their own copies of these particular things. So in this way, the shared pages can be used. So next we'll see the structure of a page table. So how exactly the page table can be implemented? So there are three methods in which the page table can be implemented: the hierarchical paging, hashed page tables, and inverted page tables. So let us discuss these one by one. So the first one is hierarchical page table. As the name itself indicates, hierarchical means whatever the page table is there, that is again divided into the subsections, and you can form a hierarchy of the page tables. So this is nothing but break up the logical address space into the multiple page tables, and a simple technique is a two-level page table. Means the page table itself is split into the two page tables. So let us consider this two-level page table scheme. So here you can observe, so this side we have the physical memory, and here whatever the page table is there, so this is divided into the two page tables. So here as we have the two page tables, so this is as usual the page table, and another one is nothing but the outer page table. So here this outer page table will hold the range value. So whenever a particular entry comes, so that is present in which particular segment of this page table. So you can observe here, so this first segment contains the space of 1 to 500, the second one contains 100 to 708, third one contains to 928, 929 to 900. So accordingly these are occupied in the physical memory. So here what happens, so a logical address, in this case a logical address on 32-bit machine with 1000 page size is divided into the page number consisting of 22 bits and page offset. So here each logical address is divided into two parts, the page number and the page offset. So since the page table is paged, the page number is further divided into the 12-bit page number and the 10-bit page offset. So whatever the 22-bit page number is there, so you can see here whatever the 22-bit page number is there, so this is again divided into the two parts, that is 12-bit and 10-bit. So this 12-bit is used for the outer page table, this 10-bit is used for the page table, and this page offset is to search among the page table. So that's what here the logical address is divided into a page number consisting of 22 bits and a page offset consisting of 10 bits. Since the page table is paged, the page number is further divided into this 22-bit page number is further divided into 12-bit page number and 10-bit page offset inside this particular page number. So thus a logical address is as follows. So as I told you, here this 12-bit page number is used for outer page table, and this is for the page table, and this page offset to go through the page table. So let us see how exactly the address translation takes place here. So here as we saw, the logical address is divided into the page number and the page offset. So further this 22-bit page number is divided into 12-bit page number page offset. So as I told you, this P1 is nothing but the 12-bit page number, so this is used for the outer page. So with this P1, so you will find the corresponding record in this outer page table. So corresponding to this record, it will be having the pointer in a particular page table. So it is pointing to a particular segment of this page table as we saw in the previous slide. So here in order to locate the exact location in this page table, we have to use this particular P2. So that's why for this entire page number, this D is the offset, but in turn for this P1, this P2 is the offset. So that's why after this P1, this P2 is used as an offset to identify the correct location into the page table. So after this, so we'll use the value of D, that is offset, to arrive at a exact location on the physical memory. So in this way, the two-level page table implementation can takes place. So the next, the second type of page table implementation is the hashed page table implementation. So as the name itself indicates, here the hashing is used. Hashing means matching a particular hash function will be used to map a particular value to the other value. So this is useful for a particular address space which is greater than of 32 bits. Means if the address space is less than 32 bits, you can go with the hierarchical one, and if it is above 32 bits, you can use this hashed page table. So here the virtual page number is hashed into a page table. So this page table contains a chain of elements hashing to the same location. So the virtual page numbers are compared in this chain, searching for a match. If a match is found, the corresponding physical frame is extracted. So let us see one example here. So as we saw here, the logical address in this case is divided into the two parts, that is page number and offset. So this page number is used for the hashing into the hash table. So this hash table will be pointing to a particular linked list, and here it will be having the three informations, that is it will contain the page number, that is virtual page number, the value of the see this q is the virtual page number, the second one is value of the mapped page frame, and this third one is a pointer to the next frame. So what it will do is it will go on comparing the value to each of these particular nodes. First it will compare with the first node. If there is a match, so it will use the corresponding value, that is value yes, the second field, in order to locate the physical address. If there is no match, it will consider the next one with the help of this pointer, and here it will search here. If there is a match, it will use the corresponding field, else it will go on continue till the match is found. So whenever there is a match, so that particular number is used as a page number and corresponding offset, so in order to locate that page into the physical memory. So this is how the hashed page table implementation works. So next we will see the third implementation, that is inverted page table. So this is similar to the first one, that is the hierarchical, but instead of dividing the page table into the different at the different levels, so here each entry of each real page of memory is maintained, and each consists of the virtual address of the page stored in that real memory location with information about the process that owns that page. Means here the real page information of that real page in the memory will be maintained, and it is going to decrease the memory needed to store each page table, but increases the time needed to search the table when a page reference occurs. So use hash table to limit the search to one or at most a few page table entries. Means here in order to limit the number of searches, again you can use the hash table. So the second one and this one, so you can have the hybrid approach here. So let us consider how this works. So as we saw, instead of having only the two, that is page number and page, here the real page information will be stored. So here for every process you can have the PID of that process, and this can be used along with the page number to search the corresponding entry into the page table. So whenever it finds a entry, so its offset, that is I, is noted, and by using that I and the offset you can arrive at the physical address. So in this way this inverted page table can be used. Next we will see the segmentation. So what is segmentation? So it's a memory management scheme that supports user view of memory. So for a user, we know that whenever we write a program, so the program consists of the uh, several entities, like it may be consisting of the number of methods, procedures, functions, the main function, and so on. So that's why the entire memory block can be considered as the collection of the different segments. So this is nothing but a segmentation. So it supports the user's view of memory, and user's view about memory is the collection of number of segments. And as we saw, we know that a program is the collection of the different segments. A segment is a logical unit such as a main program, procedure, function, method, object, local variables or global variables, common block, stack, symbol table, arrays, and so on. So that's what here the whatever for the from the user's point of view, a program's logical address is collection of the number of segments. So as we saw, the one segment may be for a particular function, that is square root, one may be for a main program, another one will be for the symbol table, another may be for stack, and another one may be for a particular subroutine. So that's what here when we have a logical view, that is the user space, so whatever the segments are there, so these segments will occupy the corresponding blocks into the physical memory space. So here it is shown with the help of numbers, that is segment 1 is going to occupy this memory space, segment 2 might have occupied this memory space, segment 3 might have occupied this memory space, and segment 4 might have occupied this memory space. This is just an illustration how exactly the segments can be mapped to the physical memory. So next we'll see the segmentation architecture. So again we know that the logical address space is again divided into the number of segments, and in order to identify each segment, the logical address here is consisting of two tuples. The first one is segment number and second one is the offset. So this segment number is going to be used in order to identify a particular segment. So here, in order to support this, your system is going to maintain one table, that is segment table. So it is going to map the two-dimensional physical addresses. So each table entry is having the two fields, that is base and limit. So here base contains the starting physical address where the segments reside in memory, whereas limit contains it specifies the length of the segment. So along with this, here we have two more data structures, that is segment table base register STBR, which is going to point to the segment table's location in memory, and segment table length register indicates the number of segments used by a program. And here a segment number S is legal if S is less than the segment table length register. So let's see, next we'll see what is the hardware that supports the segmentation and how exactly the address translation or the address mapping will take place here. So here as usual the CPU's address is nothing but a logical address here, which is consisting of two tuples, that is S is for the segment number and D is the offset here. So this is used, the segment number is used to locate the corresponding entity into the segment table, and here we know that the segment table is having the every record in the segment table is having the two entities, the limit and base. Base indicates the starting address into the physical memory and limit indicates the range. So here this limit is also used to check whether whatever the request that comes, whether it is in the accepted range or whether there is a trap. If it is not a trap, then only it will be moved to the next, that is relocation register, as we saw in the previous discussion. So here with the help of this base and the limit, so after adding this corresponding memory block will be identified into this physical memory. So in this way the address translation takes place from the logical address to the physical address. So let us consider one example to understand this. So this is the example of segmentation. So you can see here at one side we have the logical address space. As we saw, this is divided into the number of segments, and here the segment numbers may be the segment 0, segment 1, segment 2, segment 3 and segment 4. So we have the segment table here, so it is having the two again columns, that is limit and base, and we know that every record contains the two tuples, that is record 0 contains the base as 1400 and limit as 1000 and so on. So this is used to map the corresponding values into the physical memory. So let us see how it is done. So here this number indicates the segment number. So let us discuss this one by one. So we'll see how exactly the segment 0 is mapped into this physical memory. So as we saw, this base indicates the starting address and this limit indicates the range. So here for segment 0 the base is 1400, means in this physical memory for segment 0, this is for 0, for segment 0 the starting address is 1400, which is the base value, and this limit indicates the range, means starting from this address till what address this particular segment is occupied. So here the limit is 1000, means starting from 1400 next 1000, means starting from 1400 to 2400 is occupied by segment 0. So in the same way the next segment 1, for this next segment, that is segment 1, the base address is 6300 and limit is 400, means the starting address for segment 1 is 6300 and the range is 400. So for segment 1, you can see here the segment 1, the starting address is 6300 and the range is 400, means from 6300 next 400 bytes the segment 1 is allocated. So starting from 6300, next 400 means 6300 to 6700 is occupied by segment 1 in the physical memory. In the same way, the other, that is segment 2, is occupied here, that is starting from 4300 to next 400, that is 4300 to 4700. Next segment 3 is occupied at the memory location starting from 3200 to next 1100, that is 3200 to 4300. Similarly, segment 4 starting address 4700 to next 1000, that is 4700 to 5700. So in this way the segmentation can be used to implementation of this particular addressing scheme. So with this we complete the 8th chapter, and in turn we complete the module 3. Thank you.